What's up, LEGO fam? I'm Justin. You're watching Good Life Breaks. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at LEGO Star Wars set 75433, Jango Fett Starship. Now, this is the playset version, not to be confused with the UCS version that came out a couple months ago. We're going to unbox this really quick, film the review, some speed builds, and various other pieces of content for your viewing pleasure. So please do me a favor, don't forget to like this video if you enjoy yourself, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content. And let's jump into the unboxing. So first things first, this set is 707 pieces. It releases August 1st, and it's got 3 minifigures. Let's go ahead and unbox it. I'm going to use the thumb tabs this time. So we have a total of 6 bags and a pretty small sticker sheet, a nice looking instruction manual as usual. So we're going to go ahead and do the build. I'm going to film that, make it available for everybody to see, and you can see it in high speed. We'll come back, we'll do the review, and you can get my thoughts on this build. So here it is, LEGO Star Wars set 75433, Jango Fett Starship. This set came with 707 pieces and 3 minifigures, all for $69.99. I think that's a fair price. It's not a great price, but I do think it's a fair price. I'm pleasantly surprised at the level of detail and quality of this set. I've had questions, people have asked me, how does it compare to Boba Fett Starship from a few years ago, I believe 2021, and we'll take a look at that. And I also plan to have another short where it just features those two sets so we can look at them side by side in some detail. The thing that strikes me about this set is that it is a very fair comparison, just on a much smaller scale, to the UCS version. They didn't leave out a lot of the features. They didn't leave out a lot of the detail. Overall, I would say I'm very pleased with this set. As we take a little bit closer look, there are 2 individual builds, and like I said, 3 minifigures. The standout minifigure for this set is Lama Su. He was the Prime Minister of Kaminoa. He is the second Kaminoan that we've gotten. So Lama Su is made up of 3 parts, just like all minifigures. The headpiece just has a much longer neck, and then there is the ridge on his head. Looks like a little bit of a mohawk. They did a nice job of the kind of ringed nose piece or printing, and the mouth. I think this is a very good, well done printing of this head, and I think that the minifigure looks good. The other 2 pieces are the dress kind of legs and then the torso. And again, both well printed. Notice how they meet up very well on the printing portion, and then you've got a print on the back. The second minifigure is Jango Fett, and you can see, for those of you who were able to get their hands on the UCS version of Jango Fett Starship, this minifigure is identical except for the arm printing. Everything else is spot on, and same head print, same dual head print, good printing throughout, jetpack and printed back, and so everything except for the arm printing is the same. And then Boba Fett, young Boba, is the exact same hairpiece that people were complaining about, the same legs, no printing on those at all. And I don't have a problem with this minifigure. I actually think it's pretty good. So like I said, there are 2 builds to this set. The first smaller build is the cart, and this portion lays flat and comes up like that when you want to attach the Starship. It simply rests right like that. It's a nice fit. It gives you the opportunity to look at the underside, which I think they've done a good job on with the 2 thrust components there. And there's room for a minifigure right here, and then Jango's blasters can be stored right there. One other thing they gave us a couple of these, the seismic charge, and I think that's nice. There's not a lot of detail on it, but it does have the 2 yellow ends, and then it's just a blank Lego head in gray. And I'll show you where that goes here in just a second as we take a look at the Starship itself. So again, as we look a little bit closer at the Starship, there is a lot of detail here. The build out of the tail is very solid. I actually think this one might be a little more solid than the UCS version. They use a little bit of yellow throughout in bricks, and they have some sticker. And then on the wings, which move together, they have the light yellow there, and then 2 different shades of green, and then the shades of blue throughout. The coloration is spot on, and I'm just really pleased with this set, the way that it turned out. I love the detail here that they used, these shock pieces that connect the wings to the body of the ship. I like that the wings move in tandem. Down on the guns, they've got these stud shooters. They don't move, but they look pretty nice. Inside the cockpit, there's not a lot to see. They did give you a couple of these transparent red pieces, but I think the thing to note here is it's possible to fit both of the minifigures in at the same time. So Boba sits down at the bottom, and then Jango, his feet would just attach right here, and then he just sits like that. His rangefinder needs to be moved down, and you've got both minifigures fit snugly inside. So we talked about the seismic charge earlier, and you can see there is another seismic charge sitting right there. If you close the ramp and then press on this piece right here, which just moves ever so slightly, the bottom portion opens and the seismic charge falls out. I've not been able to successfully get both of them in at the same time. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to. One other thing of note is that on the back, just like with Boba's, there is a handle. So here are the 2 ships side by side. These are just the Jango Fett and Boba Fett version of their Slave One Starship. You can see they are the same size. As you have them side by side, there's not really much of a difference in their size. So I think the answer to many people's questions, are they the same size? Yeah, they are. There is really not a lot of difference in the base of the ship in terms of sizing, and the wings are nearly identical. They're not quite exactly the same, but they're really close. Differences here in the windscreens. There are some differences here in the types of pieces that are used, and then of course in the guns and the cannons down on the bottom of the tail. You've got 2 stud shooters here versus these pieces that kind of look like they could be cannons, and then you've got 4 stud shooters here versus these 4-barreled cannons down at the bottom. Otherwise, I would say there is very little difference here. And that's my review for LEGO Star Wars Set 75433 Jango Fett's Starship. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got everything that you needed out of it. I will be doing a little bit more content about this set. I'll do a little feature on the minifigures. I'll do a little bit of a maybe slightly more in-depth comparison between Jango Fett and Boba Fett Starship sets. I think this is a great set, and I think it's really well done. I understand not everybody can get their hands on the UCS Jango Fett Starship, but this isn't that big of a step down. I mean, only from a size perspective. The look and the feel are very similar. The quality is there. And so at $69.99 for 707 pieces and 3 great minifigures, it's an easy recommendation to make. I think this is a great set, and I think a lot of folks will like it, and I think it compares very favorably to Boba Fett's Starship from a few years ago. Hopefully, you got everything that you need. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, because I will be continuing to film content in days and weeks to come, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have or to show something that maybe you didn't get a chance to see in this video. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and hit this subscribe button for me. That would be meaningful and very helpful. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.